Mr. Kothari, Mr. Vijay Bharadwaj, the galaxy of dignitaries on the dais, and the galaxy of dignitaries in front of me, and the students of this institution, ISBR. Normally, Manohar is known to give surprises, and this is no new one. He just said that you are going to come and address our students and talk to them for about 15-20 minutes. But when I come here, he has bowled me in the cricketing terminology. It's a wonderful experience to be here. In fact, sometimes I used to wonder how an institution can exist in the center of an electronic city. And now I can realize the homogeneous relationship that has been established by the management, the industrialist, and the students, of course. In fact, when I was traveling, my institution also used to run an MBA course, and I know how difficult it is to get the MBA admissions these days. And when I came here, it was nice to see that we have a house full. And also the second thing that struck me was like the beautiful bouquet of flowers that you offered me when I came in here. Every flower is beautiful by itself. You represent different parts of the country. Not only that, when you are put together, you look even better. So my compliments to you. Business is not only making profits, surpluses, fighting deficits, raising money, etc. But it's got more than that. Probably the one reason some people would wonder, like when they see my biodata, it's got more of other things, less of business. That's the way I chose it, and I don't regret it, I can tell you that. Again, my memory goes back when I did my business management in Thunderbird, where in '67, when I landed in the United States, it was a different experience. I had done my engineering and science degree here, and the kind of education that was given to us was absolutely different. A strange atmosphere, strange people, money. Of course, we don't have to talk about dollars now. Dollar used to be 3.75 or 3.5 rupees a dollar when I went, and they used to give us only $20 when we left the shores. We'll come to that a little later. But I could definitely say that going to a business school helped me to smoothen it out, to smoothen the rough edges and make me what I am today. Probably I would say that it is essential for us not only to know the technology. Most of us prefer an engineering graduation or a medical graduation to step into our life, or maybe a chartered accountant or a lawyer. But to be a business manager is a little different. I would say that I don't know how many of you at this point of juncture would be managers, or how many of you would you like to be entrepreneurs? Can I have a show of hands? How many would you like to be entrepreneurs? Good, my congratulations to you. I thought nobody would lift their hand. Because the atmosphere is so cozy, you don't have to do anything if you take up an employment, work for a multinational company. Everything is made for you. You just go there, deliver it, and that's it. You don't have to bother how to raise money, how to sell your product, etc., whatever it is. Because today I would say that actually this entrepreneurship is what is lacking in our country. The children, for example, if I consider myself as a first generation entrepreneur, because my parents were in the trade, when I entered an industry, it looked very rosy, very challenging. But as days goes by, when the younger generation, like all of you are sitting here, came up, they were not very keen. The West was drawing them like magnetic attraction. And I think maybe I also did the same thing. But in my case, it was a little different. It was my father who insisted that I go outside the country and get a degree and come back. Well, that's the way it was. Why I keep on saying this is, to get into the business is a tough deal today. The country is going through a turmoil. On a day when you are celebrating and when you are enjoying, I do not want to bring the gloom of the country, but I think it's got to be talked, because it is a business school. Look at all around you. There is confusion galore, slowing down of the economy, manufacture sector down, depreciating rupee. Less talk, the better it is. And I think the Sensex is behaving as if it's lost control over its beats. You do not know when it's going to go up and when it's going to come down. And of course, we love to get the gold in, but the gold getting in is creating a problem for us also. In fact, sometimes when I sit back, I used to wonder what is wrong in getting the gold. After all, gold is gold. It is not going to vanish away. You know, the approximate figure they gave was $1.5 trillion worth of gold is being kept in India. Sometime or other, maybe they will ask us to empty it and keep it in a bank deposit so that they can buy dollars. That's a different story, you know. So, I mean, so many things. But look at the other aspect also, you know. When the economy is going on like this, we have the other crisis that's coming up internationally. Today we live in a what you call as a global village. It's no longer Indian economy. If America sneezes, you catch a cold. That's the way it is. And we have to gear up for these kind of things. Look at it. When United States announced that they were going to attack Syria, the whole thing collapsed again, you know. See, these kind of things are happening, and I think what I'm trying to say is we have to gear up to meet these challenges, and that's where the business management comes. I also understand that you have programs where you go to different countries also and understand not only the cross-cultural differences, but also the challenges that we face in this global economy. So that's what it is. And I was wondering, today I think it's a blend of old, new, and people who are already in here. That is a present. So it's a kind of a mixed bag, I would say. And added to this, you have brought in a lot of toppings also, you know. You have an entrepreneur who has taken a chance in making a film by just advertising, and then he has got a response. You know, it's innovation. I would say that that's the way it goes. And technology also has come to our rescue. Today I thought what kind of a message that I can pass on to all of you with all the backgrounds that I did talk about. I thought that the first and foremost thing that any of you as a business graduate should have is creativity. A creativity is the way things go, and you see the way it's presented or the way the new entrepreneurs are taken up makes that if you are creative and innovative in your thinking, something is open for you. The challenges are available and you can make use of it. The second most important part is again credibility. You must establish the credibility when you get into business, your own or you are a manager. Look at how the producer of the film has established credibility. So that is why he is able to get the people to invest. They have not seen him. They have only seen what he has performed. And he has been able to get and complete the project. So credibility, when you go out and say something, people must say that yes, here is a man, I can believe him, I can believe in his organization, he is a credible man in a credible organization. Of course, this is something that each of us have to learn as a business manager. I always stress there are two important leadership skills that you have to know. One is the communication skills. If you may be very good technically, but if you are not able to express what you want to and make the other man understand the way it should be understood, you are a failure. Most of the people who come out of technical institutions or the business institutions are not industry ready. I think Infosys goes on record to say that it takes 2 years of finishing training or finishing school before you are industry ready. You must be able to communicate, you must be able to understand what you are trying to tell people. Very important. The other leadership skill I always say is time management. Unfortunately, India has been joked as IST, that is Indian stretchable time, but I think slowly we are coming back into place. I'm not only talking about the minutes and seconds, I'm saying that the type of time you spend, the 2 years or 2.5 years that you spend here, you must know how to optimize it, how to get the best out of it, and not enjoy and get away from it. So these communication skills and time management are absolutely essential. So many of them. In fact, I had an instance when one of the students came and complained to me as the president of the institution, "Sir, the principal is very stringent, sir. He is giving us too much of work. We cannot take it." And there was a protest also saying that he is teaching beyond the syllabus. I said, my dear friend, you are going to be a business graduate. You ought to know to live out of box. And you must be able to take that stress. If you are not able to take the stress at the education level, how are you going to go into the market and face the world? So you must be able to learn these kind of things. Gentlemen, I think the fourth thing is confidence. If you don't have the confidence that you are going to do something or deliver something, you are not going to be a successful one. Confident that you will face the world, confident you will come out clean, confident that you will learn something new, confident that you will be able to apply it in your life also. The next one is character. Probably this is the one that lacks most, I would say, today. The way you see corruption that is going around in the world, I think character of our politicians or our bureaucrats is on a low ground. Why there? Even in our own selves also, I don't know how many of us get touched and say, like Buddha said, can you get me a few seeds, mustard seeds, from a house where there has been no death? Can anybody lift their hand and say that I am corrupt free? We live in a society like that, but we have to make an effort to see that we get over that. You have to build the character. I would say that if the future has got to be good for this country, they talk about that 2020, not cricketing, I'm talking about year 2020. When they say that there is going to be a turnaround and India is going to be one, even beyond the capacity of United States. I'm looking forward for that. I only hope I live to see that. So we have to make an effort to improve our character, and of course it ends up in your career. I'm sure there is a lot this country can offer. There is a lot of opportunities. Once we thought that population was a bane of our country. Billions of people, billion plus. And we thought that malnutrition, bad things was because of that. But thanks to the education system and other things that have been put in place, we have made that as an asset. Today, if India is in the forefront, thanks to people like Infosys, Wipro and others who have made the field world, the people proud, making them as multinational companies, and the software sector especially has contributed to the growth of our country and image. Well, gentlemen, I would say that this is what I would like to communicate. Today is a day when I think you have to celebrate, meet and greet your old friends, and for the new ones who have come with stars in their eyes. They think that I get an MBA, I will have a lot of things to do and things like that. You will have to go through the rut. You will have to go through the mill. Get yourself, polished and then come out clean. A lot of you must be wondering, how are we going to do this? Who is going to be responsible for this? I would say that the whole thing is in your hands only. To close, I would say a small story. I believe there is a village, and in the village there came a person whom we call as a sadhu or a learned person. And when people went to him, he was able to give solutions to their problems. As days passed by, the number of people who were going to him for this increased. 5, 10, 15, and there used to be a long line. This went on for some time, and then we had a young person, probably a business management graduate, who wanted to say that, geez, we are in the 21st century, we have to test this man. What he is saying is true. How is he able to do that? He thought, how do I do that? Whatever he says, I must see that it becomes false. He said, I'll take a small bird in my hand, go in front of him and say that, sir, will you tell me what is the fate of this bird in the next minute? If he says he is going to let it go, I will squeeze its neck and kill it, thus making it false. And if he says that I am going to kill it, I am going to let it go, both ways it's going to be bad for the person who is supposed to be very intelligent. He went in front of the person and repeated the same thing. That man, being really a learned man, looked at his eye and said that, gentlemen, the life of that bird is in your hands. If you want, it will live. If you do not want, it will not live. So be it. The life of yours is in your hands. Thank you.